only good way to study in abroad, or it's fine to study in domestic in Korean?
I think you can definitely study in your country. Go online. Go to the areas that the foreigners go to.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Go to the 모임. Right? 모임 있잖아. There's 모임 apps.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It's very easy. Go to, when is 언어교환 101? Language exchange 101? Go to that. You can find foreigners. They're there. There's so many foreigners that want to know Korean people.
Yeah, right.
And also so many foreigners don't speak Korean. So it's good for you. Because then you can just talk English all day.
Yeah, right.
And they like that, some
Yeah,
of them. When I was in America, I was doing so much Korean, I forgot English in America. I forgot English in America. I think you can definitely study in your country. So I don't understand why Korean people say I can't learn English. 생각 없이 말할 수 있었잖아. 우리 처음 만났을 때부터 계속 이런 식으로 말했잖아. 근데 그때랑 지금이랑 그렇게 약간 그 차이가 그렇게 크지 않아.
And I also question to you. Actually, I was thought I also want to go abroad to study English, but actually I didn't because it's very expensive to stay in abroad. Right? But many Koreans want to go. Only good way to study in abroad, or it's fine to study in domestic in Korean.
I think you can definitely study in your country. I think it's really easy to study English now in Korea than ever before. I'm in Korea and I'm studying Spanish. I'm studying Spanish.
Spanish too?
In Korea, yes. And I'm in Korea. So you don't have to go to the country to learn the language. You understand?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. When I learned Korean, I was in America. Most of my Korean, I learned from America.
Oh.
So like, my Korean is better now. It's not perfect, but it's improving. But when we met, I could speak to you in Korean, right? 생각 없이 말할 수 있었잖아. 우리 처음 만났을 때부터 계속 이런 식으로 말했잖아.
Yeah, right.
그치? 그때 내가 한국어 배운 지 한 2년 반밖에 안 됐어. 기억나?
Yeah, right.
지금 난 4년 됐어. 한국어 배운 지. 근데 그때랑 지금이랑 그렇게 약간 그 차이가 그렇게 크지 않아. 뭐 아마 문법적으로 내가 덜 틀려?
A little bit different, but
근데 it's not like so
Yeah, yeah,
like different.
yeah, right.
So
It's only good.
I like plateaued at some point.
Yeah.
약간 그런 약간 한계 이제 이렇게.
Yeah, right. He's the first time, and then
Yeah.
now like a little
Yeah.
bit. Alright.
So my improvement is much slower.
Yeah, right.
And obviously having experiences in the country can help you learn a language, but I think that if you don't speak the language at all, it doesn't matter if you live in the country. So for example, in America, we have many Korean people, many Chinese people, many Indian people, many Vietnamese people from all over the world, right? If they only spend time with people that speak the same language as them, which is not English, then they're not gonna get better at English. If Nigerian people only talk to Nigerian people in maybe their language, they're not gonna get better. So even if you go to America, for example, it doesn't mean you're gonna get better. That's number one. Number two, you can get better if you go to America, but the problem is 이렇게 일상 대화할 때, right? 그 한계가 있어. 이렇게 약간 그냥 뭐 식당에서 편하게 얘기할 때
Small talk.
고급 스몰톡 하잖아. 그것만 편해지면 그럼 네가 잘하는 거야? 아니잖아. 어떤 사람은 그것만으로 뭐 행복해. 오케이, fine. 그거는 괜찮아. 근데 어떤 사람은 더 고급스러운 주제에 대해서 얘기하고 싶은데
맞아.
그거 식당에서 뭐 카페에서 배울 수 있는 거 아니잖아. 집에서 해야 돼 그런 거. 뭐 과외하거나 아니면 뭐 어떤 기사 읽고 뭐 단어 공부하고 그런 식으로 해야 되는데 그거 어디서 하든 상관없는 거야 그거.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And Korean people already know English. So it's really like you just have to read. Just read. Watch videos in English. And then you can learn. You have to input. When I was in America, I was doing so much Korean, I forgot English in America. I forgot English in America. So when Korean people say, 나 영어 쓸 일 없어, 나 영어 쓸 기회 없어, 그래서 영어 배울 수 없다 이렇게 말할 때
right.
진짜 공감할 수 없어. 나 학원 갈 수 없어, 나 학원 갈 돈 없어. Most of my Korean I learned at home. Most of my Korean 거의 집에서 다 했어. I went to 어학당. I did go to 어학당, but it's like
It's good.
그 어학당 그 교재만 있으면 할 수 있는 거잖아.
Sure.
자료만 있으면 할 수 있어. So you don't need to go to the country. You just need materials. So maybe a good book, or maybe even a textbook, or an article, right? I think that's useful. And then you can do exchange online. You can do language exchange. It's much cheaper than going to the country.
Right.
And there's so much English content. There's so much English materials. You have Netflix. You have YouTube. So much English. So I don't understand why Korean people say I can't learn English. I really don't understand. Korean people are good at English. And if they just watch more videos in English, they'll be so amazing, I think. Learning English is easier than learning Korean.
Do you think so?
Of course.
Oh, really?
It's not about just the language. It's about the materials. Think about this. Let's, for example, I'm gonna do this in English, so try your best to understand. For example, maybe English is very difficult, right? Maybe English is level 5, very difficult. And maybe Korean is very easy, level 2. But for English, there's so many materials. And for Korean, for example, no materials. Which one is easier to learn? Korean is an easy language,
Yeah.
but there are no materials.
It
You
makes
can't
sense.
learn it.
It makes sense.
But for English, there's everything. You keep listening to everything, you talk to everyone. Of course, you're gonna eventually learn it. But for Korean, if you don't hear it, if you don't watch it, you can't learn it. You understand? So it doesn't matter how hard the language is. I think obviously that's important, but I think at the end of the day, if there's a lot of materials that you can use, then you should be able to learn English if you have enough time to do it. It doesn't matter if you go abroad. You can go abroad and speak Korean every day.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get better.
Yeah, I think so too.
The only thing you'll be good at is, the only thing you will get better at is, excuse me, can I order food? That's it. How much is this? Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
the only thing you'll learn.
Right.
Even if you go to America, it doesn't mean you'll be good.
Yeah, right.
Also, Americans talk really fast. So they're not gonna say, oh, you're Korean? Oh, 챙겨줄게. 안 해.
Never, right?
They're not.
Yeah.
차라리 여기 있는 사람 만나는 게 훨씬 나아.
Because they are like in foreigner case, like
Exactly,
you, they're very
exactly.
like lonely like that because you want to meet Korean friend.
Right.
But if you are abroad like American,
만날 필요
yeah,
없어.
you don't need to, right?
넌 뭔데? 너 특별하지 않아. 이렇게 생각할
Right.
거야. Right? 근데 여기 있는 사람들은 한국 사람 얼마나 만나고 싶은데.
Yeah, right.
그리고
Ah,
한국 문화에 대해서 알아.
it's the main point.
여기 살고 있으니까 한국 문화에 대해서 많이 아니까. 그래서 친구 될 확률이 더 높아지는 거지. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
그냥 그 사람한테, 그 외국 사람한테 이상한 취급하지 않으면 돼.
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then you can become friends.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not that hard.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why Korean people are like, oh, I can't find any foreigners. Yes, you can. Go online. Go to the areas that the foreigners go to.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Go to the 모임. Right? 모임 있잖아. There's 모임 apps.
Yeah, right.
It's very easy. Go to, when is it, 언어교환 101? Language Exchange 101? Go to that. You can find foreigners. They're there. There's so many foreigners that want to know Korean people.
Yeah, right.
And also so many foreigners don't speak Korean. So it's good for you. Because then you can just talk English all day.
Yeah, right.
And they like that, some
Yeah,
of them.
right.
Not
Yeah.
all, some.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, he usually
I like Korean.
3 hours he can speak Korean.
Yeah, I can speak Korean all day. I don't care.